Okay, chat. Early hacker replay. I leave for Germany tomorrow, so this hacker replay is being recorded like almost a whole week in advance. And then I'll do the other hacker replay when I get back. In this match, we have Fear No Evil, who's accusing Quaint Yak. This is either going to be a very interesting new cheat, or it's going to just be someone who had no idea what they were doing and just accused someone of cheating. The reason I say that is because apparently Quaint Yak, aka the Cav, is able to make herself immune to shield knockovers. So even though the shield tries to knock her over, she can just stand there and take it. Which wouldn't be the first, you know, crazy new cheat we've seen recently, but this would be the first time I think we've ever seen something like that. The fact that he's running full default skins and doing like this weird looking around thing means he's probably cheating. But we'll wait and see. It'll be really funny if the person who he accused actually just had like dodged the Blackbeard and that was it. But with the way he's walking, I think it's very likely he probably is cheating. He's literally just standing at the window because he knows no one's there. I also don't know for sure if the shield immunity thing is this round or maybe next round. Or even the round after. He looks very lost. Can usually tell where people are on the wall by sound. I agree that he should be able to determine where these people are based off sound, but like he clearly looks just really bad. Cause like when he jumps out here, like this guy does not look like he knows what he's doing, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this is ranked, right? Yeah, it is. So somehow he made it to level 50 playing like that? I don't know about that. And this is apparently a plat lobby. I still think I had a plat background. What I want to see, though, is if he actually can be immune to Blackbeard's shield knock. It was specifically said it was Blackbeard, so I'm curious when it happens. I swear to God, if Blackbeard just fucking misses, and that's all it is, I'm going to be really upset. Like, he does this a lot. He's just, like, slow walking around while staring at walls. Like, this is really, really stupid of him to do, because what if someone rushed up West Main and he wasn't looking the right way? He's just constantly crouch walking, looking around, and then, oh, someone's walking up the stairs. It's like, I know you'd be able to hear it's Blackbeard, but like, he's constantly moving around as if he knows where people are, and like, he's aiming in just nonsensical directions. I heard the punch. I heard Blackbeard hit him. He should have knocked him over. But I don't think that was a new cheat. I think the game just scammed him. Because I've had this a lot too, where I've punched people with shields and it doesn't knock them over. And then, yeah, he just gets scammed. I do think he's cheating, because he does not look like a real player. But I don't think his cheat makes him immune to shield knocks. I think he just got scammed by the game. Maybe I'm crazy for that take. But like, I think you guys would all agree that with how he's moving and how he's aiming, this is not a plat player. This is like a bronze copper player. But he's looking around like as if he knows where people are. Like, I don't know what he's accomplishing here with this. And I know obviously he'd be able to hear the Twitch go on drone there, but like, the way he's playing doesn't look like he's playing off sound. It looks like he's playing off information of what he sees. Because I think if you were playing that off sound, you would... I don't know, I feel like you'd be moving and aiming differently. But he looks like a bot. I do have his real name. We'll look it up after, or we'll get it after, but yeah, he definitely seems like a bot. What the heck is he doing? Again, I think this is just, he probably bought a level 50 account just to play ranked on and cheat, because like, he didn't look like he knew what he was doing there. And anytime he walks around the map, he looks like he has zero clue where anyone or anything is. It does look like that was the round, though, that Blackbeard hit him, but he didn't get knocked over. I don't think that was a cheat. I think that was just the game scamming him. Because I've had the same thing. I've had people that I've, like, punched, and I hear the sound, and they don't get knocked over. I made a whole video about that. I said that shields were nerfed secretly. So, I don't think that was a cheat. I do think he's walling, though. Because, like, this guy does not know the map at all. Like, he looks so lost. And somehow he's in the plat lobby. I want to see what he does here. I also don't think he knows what his gadget does. Because he keeps popping it right before he's about to swing, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And like, he's holding his flank when he's on the stairs to sight. Like, what do you mean? No one's... How's anyone going to be behind you? That's in sight. I don't think he's legit. I feel like he's using this, like flicking behind him to look at his flank as an excuse to see where people are, because he can see the, who is that, the ram and bar. What did he... Okay, this is supposed to be platinum. What is he checking? He's staring at a wall as if someone can be there. He is not legit. That is a person who bought their account and is cheating. He's trying to make it look like he doesn't know where the dude is planting. I agree. I think he is very much trying to pass it off like, oh yeah, like, well, over here, let's look over here. But I also think he just genuinely is a person who doesn't know the game but bought a level 50 account. He's just... Okay. Bro. He's just sitting in the middle of the doorway. If someone swings here or here, he dies. But he sends the drone in looking immediately at the left because he knows where that guy is. And then he dies to it. No, he's cheating. He's just really, really bad. Like, insanely bad. Ooh! The overlay works again. I can look people up on here. His name is Loki and Bandit 67. 67. I also just learned that apparently when you say 6-7, you're supposed to go like this. 6-7. I don't know. He's in Diamond. I'ma just say this to all the people who download cheats. If you want to not get caught, don't make it obvious. We know you're not a Diamond player. Don't go all the way to Diamond thinking no one will realize it. Now, that being said, he still hasn't been banned, so the system hasn't figured it out yet. But obviously, we all know he will probably be banned by the end of the season. But maybe don't make it so obvious. I think that was obvious enough to everyone. Let's move on to the next one. This is Clubhouse 4.0, and I can't remember why I downloaded it. None of the names add up. Oh, actually, it's his teammate who left. I was like, I don't see the names. So his teammate who left, it's, by the way, Programs is the one who submitted this, and it's bandtm.otf, who is apparently ELO trapping in this lobby, while at the same time, he says Necro. like necromancers, apparently aimbotting, and reds is walling, but neither of those people exist here, so I don't know. Maybe that's their real names and he just gave us the real names. Okay, so I'm assuming Bandit, or not Bandit, Pulse is one of the cheaters, since he seems to have aimbot. But they did say that this is an ELO trapping lobby, and so far everyone seems to be an active player. No one seems to be AFK except for the Valkyrie who killed herself right away. She's the one who C4'd herself. I don't know if I could necessarily agree that this is ELO trapping, but I did specifically choose this because I thought it was ELO trapping. Okay. Oh, I thought he somehow got that. How did this guy get it? Oh, damn. Yeah, other than the Valkyrie, I don't understand how this is ELO trapping. But he did mention that it was like, if you look at this guy's played with, apparently it makes sense. What is ELO trapping? So ELO trapping is essentially where orange team is 5, people who want to rank up. They all get, usually it's on console, they all get a second console, a second Xbox, and they make accounts. And they all go to very low population servers like South Africa. And then so these 5 orange people are the same as these 5 blue people. They're all the same, but they just have 2 consoles each. And they queue up against each other, and they intentionally throw on one side to boost the ELO of the other side. So if you go to like the top players on console, they recently did ban a lot of them, but usually the top like 100 are people who have 99.99% win rates with like negative KDs, because they'll just kill themselves like 2 rounds in a row, and then the other team will surrender, and then like they just boost ELO as much as they can without ever actually doing anything. They'll literally spend months doing this just to try to be the highest rank without actually doing anything. But I don't think this is ELO trapping, because it looks like the enemy team is just cheating. Like Quiet Flame literally has aimbot and wall hacks, and so does the Quicksilver guy, or Quiver. So I don't understand how this is ELO trapping, other than the banned tm.otf guy is just AFK. But let's look at his stuff, or let me pull it up real quick. If I'm understanding the submission, then so these guys are all blatantly cheating with aimbot whatever, and the one person on the blue team who's part of their like ELO trapping thing is the banned guy, which just means that like they're mainly just cheating, but I guess also ELO trapping. Okay, so this is the match. Reds, Necrodancer, Junpith, and Warjunk. This is on, oh, they're just doing this on US East as well, like one of the most populated servers. So he plays with Reds a lot. Junpith, BFJ as well. So he does play with them a decent amount, so he probably just was like, I'll just queue against you and do it. Or maybe he could be an alt account from one of them, because like obviously he went from normally a silver player up to champ after rank 2.0, which means he obviously started cheating. Oh yeah, he's just constantly queuing against them every time. So okay, he's like the one person who is ELO trapping just to make it worse for the enemy team, but he is against the exact same people every single time. Actually, Reds was the also blamed person. So Warjunk just killed himself because he didn't want to, I guess, muddy his stats a little bit, but we know this guy's also cheating. Oh, fuck. Skipped forward. So I guess they just bring in a new account to be the blatant aimbotter who will finish it as quick as possible. And these guys just get boosted. But so Reds, Junpith, Warjunk, BFJ are all very much in collaboration with this. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it said Reds is now the #1 player. Yeah. So he was clearly hard stuck for a while, or just not getting enough, so then he just decided to go full blade this season and 5-stack with ELO trappers. What's crazy is he links his Twitch account, which I'm not even going to bother checking it, but if he does actually cheat on stream, his Twitch account just gets banned. You just report the account for cheating and they ban them right away. I don't know why you would do that, but it's probably his only way of trying to gain some followers is by being #1 after cheating all the way up. I'll probably send that one in. We'll see what Ubisoft says. What's funny is that I didn't even realize that he was like the #1 champ in the world and was like blatantly cheating like that, or ELO trapping as well, or queuing with cheaters. Because I had downloaded this other match to basically be that. It's Villa and Border, where someone submitted it and he said he went against one of the top 5 champs in the world and they were blatantly cheating. In this one we have Y Agiza Knights, who says that RexDev and Basher on his team are cheating, and then also Gender Mary is cheating on the enemy team apparently. Well, somehow Dogby dies first, so let's see how that happens. Oh, he just runs in and dies. That was a perfect lineup on where the Finca was, but not completely crazy to do. Okay, and then this Basher guy is apparently also cheating. Apparently. Allegedly, I should say. Don't want to get hit with a libel lawsuit. Allegedly cheating. Allegedly. So, we know he's cheating. Let's see if we can see Gender Mary cheating. Which I assume, yeah, we're going to see it right here. Because he just goes full blatant. The round keeps breaking, bro. I hate this bug. I don't even care about the rest of Siege. Can you just fix that bug? I hate it constantly freezing. So, he full on... It's not even just wall hacks. He has aimbot because it's tracking them perfectly. Because even if you just had walls, there's no way he'd be able to track it this perfectly. Which makes me wonder if he even had it in the first round and he only activated it because they were blatantly cheating. Or, like, maybe he didn't have it. Or, no, obviously, he had it to begin with. Or, like, he has the cheat. What am I trying to say? Maybe he only toggled on because the enemies were cheating. But maybe in the first round he's like, I'm just going to run in. And then when he died to it, or when he saw that they were cheating, he's like, no, I'm going to toggle on now. 9% of cheaters are the ones using the SMG-12. Yeah. I mean, it is a basically uncontrollable gun. It looks like they either... Oh, no, I didn't realize someone left. I also just realized one of the cheaters left, actually. That Bashir guy, the one who was blatantly walling. Is Major Ruby also cheating? How many people were cheating? Well, we have we had two cheaters on both teams. I don't think this guy was cheating. I don't know. But 4 cheaters in this one match. Now, chat, what are the odds that any of them are banned, right? Let's start with the Gendarmerie, who I believe they said was the #1 champ, or top 5 champ. Let's see. Number 5 in the world, blatantly cheating like an insane amount, not banned. He actually just played a match yesterday, a few matches yesterday, all while having 100% headshot ratings across the board. I know Ubisoft has said that they are not solely relying on stat bans, but this is very clearly not, like, if there is a stat ban system in place, it is not working. You're telling me hitting 100% headshots nonstop doesn't flag the system? That is insane. Tung Saha is the other guy who is cheating. Is he queued with him? No, yeah. Okay, so yeah, they've been queued together, I think that's 14 times. It's still a little buggy, the total encounters, but obviously this guy is on like a new account that's in gold, so they wouldn't be in the lobby together unless they were queued together. They are both cheating blatantly and queued together. And then let me look up the other two. Which, by the way, that guy's not banned either. Rex Dev, top 2000 champ, also not banned on a new account because it's level 81. And then he's playing with Basher, who is also not banned. Oh my god. This is actually just sad. Not a single person in this match who's blatantly cheating is banned. Is insane. I got a buddy that's been stat banned and unbanned like 3 or 4 times. Just shows how flawed it is when they can't pick up on the 100% with double-digit kills. I mean, realistically, if your friend's been stat banned 3 or 4 times and unbanned, it's very likely he is cheating, but he just convinces Ubisoft support to unban him. But in the insanely rare chance that he's not cheating, the fact that they would stat ban someone else but then not stat ban these people is absolutely fucked. I downloaded the border one because he had submitted both matches, but apparently in this match he also blatantly cheats, and I don't know how they're not getting banned. It is sad. Okay. Moving on to Nighthaven Labs. See, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer when we talk about this, but like this is why a lot of creators are moving away from Siege. I don't know if you guys would have seen, Roy announced that he's quitting Siege. He said he's going to go 90% Battlefield content, 10% Siege. Skittles is like kind of half trying to leave. I'm doing like 50% Battlefield content with Siege content, which in case you guys aren't getting notifications for it, I am uploading a lot of Battlefield content, so go check it out if you want. But yeah, a lot of people are leaving because it's just like, it is rough out there. Yeah, so it is really bad. And I think we're only going to see more creators leave. Again, not wanting to be Debbie Downer about it all, but it is crazy to me to see like the new age content creators are like, don't worry, everything's going to come back. Like Ubisoft's going to come in swinging and like Siege is going to be so back next year. I'm like, bro, I wish I could be, how do I say it in a not mean way? I wish I could be that oblivious. I understand those content creators not wanting to be negative about it and being like, we can bring this back. But like the writing's on the wall. It is very much clear that Siege is not coming back. If the Siege community can lose, what was it, like 60, 80% of its player base in 6 months, it's not coming back. And I think if any content creators out there genuinely believe that Siege will be fully back next year, then I don't know. I got a bridge to sell them because they are not thinking right. I get why. They don't want to believe it to die because, especially for smaller creators, this is a really bad situation because they are in a very bad position where they put all their eggs in the Siege basket. They're only still growing and now their game is dying. So they're going to either have to quit YouTube since it's not big enough, or they're going to have to like scale back. Whereas the big creators like me are like, oh, whatever, I'll just go play something else. Like I'm probably not going to make as much money, but I can still, make a living. Versus them, they're like, I literally, if I do anything else, I'm just dead. Not dead, but like their channel is dead. So I get why they want to believe that it'll come back, but like, I don't see it. I think anything that we complain about now and we want like Ubisoft or Siege to do right now is not going to be in the game until next year, which is going to be way too late. Like it is going to be, everyone's going to be gone by then. So unless they're somehow able to give everyone in the company overtime to work like 100-hour weeks to push everything forward to year 11, the beginning of year 11, I don't think anything's going to change, and I think the game's just going to die. Which is why, again, I'm focusing on other games like Battlefield. And when I get back from vacation, I'm going to try out Arc Raiders. A lot of people are hyping it up. They say it's the best game ever. I'm going to try that. I'll probably upload a little bit of that as well. But it's just can't invest into Siege anymore. Everyone's scaling back. Creators of all kinds are scaling back because they just can't afford to do it anymore. Because Siege is just not making money. Even myself, I'm like, damn, Siege is making nothing now. Anyways, that's enough about the depressing reality of content creation in Siege. I do hope the smaller creators do see my little rant, because I want them to like wake up and realize that, you know, it is really bad and they need to be ready for it. Because I think the longer that content creators refuse to acknowledge that fact, the harder it's going to be when it hits. Which means that like they're just going to be worse off, because if they don't prepare now, when Siege does finally like, you know, perish, they're just going to be shit out of luck and they're going to have to go get real jobs. If they prepare now, they might be able to shift to a new game that will save them. But if they wait till later, it's just going to only be worse, because if you go down with the ship, your viewer base will plummet with the ship, and then by the time you shift, no one's left behind. You know, everyone's gone. I love Siege. Me too, Priest. Me too. I don't plan on changing it soon, but with me taking more steps back from Siege, that might affect my hacker replay uploads. I will still continue to try to do this once a week as long as I can, but with the player base diminishing and people not submitting as much, hacker replay is kind of in like in a bad state where like I don't think it'll last much longer, because if I'm not getting enough submissions, I can't do hacker replay, and they have to be good submissions. And also it's just also getting fucking sad with how many cheaters there are. But yeah, we'll deal with that when we come to it. In the meantime, I would like to continue hacker replay as long as I can. But anyways, okay, let's get into the match. Enough venting and depression. In this match, we have Cade accusing Zed Scythe. Scythe? Bro, are cheaters just getting dumber? Like, what is the point of downloading cheats that let you have walls on drones? Like, the drone being there doesn't even affect you as a cheater, because you're just gonna, if you're blatantly cheating like this, you're probably just gonna kill everyone anyways. So why does this matter? Why do you need this cheat? So I think it's safe to say that this will probably be a very obvious match. This is also why I personally was a bigger fan of the idea of a Siege 2 instead of Siege X. I remember being so disappointed when I got the email with the information and that they told me that it was Siege X, a big update, and not Siege 2. Because I thought it was actually going to be a full new game. And I know I've gotten into debates about this online a lot. A lot of creators like to talk a lot about anti-cheat, and in my opinion, they say a lot of things that they don't understand. But people do seem to be under the assumption that Siege could just add a ton of anti-cheat measures if they wanted to. They just choose not to, which is just so delulu. I don't think even Ubisoft higher-ups are that stupid to be like, if we just invest a couple $1,000s, we could stop a lot of cheaters and save the game that is the only one keeping us afloat. And for some reason, people want us to believe that the execs who want to make money are like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, I know execs don't know gaming, and I know they're stupid, but like, They're not that stupid. You just got a collateral with that. They're actually that dumb, though? They're not. Because it's the same thing as other companies. Other companies also deal with things that cost, or like lose them money if they don't deal with it. And executives will be willing to spend money as long as it actually will get them results. But people seem to believe that Ubisoft could just add whatever they want, basically, and fix everything, but they just choose not to because they don't want to spend a single dime, which is just so dumb and so far from the truth. I think the biggest issue, at least from my understanding, again, I only know what I'm told from Ubisoft, but I feel like I am told enough to get a comprehensive idea. A lot of these things that people claim that you can just like add to Siege, you can't just add it. It doesn't work like that. It's like trying to add a pickup truck's engine to a motorcycle. Being like, just do it. It's like, how the fuck are we supposed to do that? By the way, somehow, some way, this Blaine cheater that we've been watching is negative. And I don't think he even pops off for the win. Is this guy also cheating? Is that how they win? Because if they have a Blaine cheater losing, I feel like they must have another cheater. No, he looks... Bro, oh, so you can't be turned around like that. That is actually crazy to me, though, that this guy is blatantly aimbotting and he goes negative. I want to know if that's, like, intentional or not. We'll go to, like, a random... We'll go to, like, round 5. Let's just see if he dies trying to kill someone or if he intentionally dies. Okay, let's see. So he's in a 1v2. I can't tell if that was intentional or if he's just that bad. I don't think he was trying to lose that. I think he's just that bad. Dude, there's literally V8 motorcycles. That analogy doesn't work. It does, though. You're telling me that you could just take the engine off of a Ford F-150, stick it on top of a motorcycle, and it would just work. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. You would have to completely redesign it and fix it so that it works for the motorcycle. Just like you can't just add anti-cheat to Siege and just have it work. You're not going to just strap in an engine, duct tape it to the thing and be like, there you go, it works. You have to do stuff. We see it all the time where people are like, they just need to add Vanguard, like Valorant's Vanguard to Siege. You can't do that. It literally does not work like that. To use the car analogy again, saying adding Vanguard to Siege is... like should be that easy is like having, again, a pickup truck, giving the mechanic a AA battery and say, make the car electric. How the fuck are you going to do that? Doesn't work. You can't just throw in the anti-cheat. As much as people would love to believe it's just simple as like copy and paste it, you can't just do that. And a lot of these anti-cheats, first off, like the new one, like Javelin, Vanguard, all of them are built before the game. They are built from the ground up to be anti-cheat, and then the game is coded around the anti-cheat. Siege is a 10-year-old game. It is super old. You can't just add a new anti-cheat to it and just say work. There's no way small barriers wouldn't help the game out. Stuff like that, sure, but that's not what we're talking about. People are saying literally add Vanguard to Siege. It does not work. You literally can't do it. With that attitude, of course you can't. It's not an attitude thing. It is literally impossible. I understand that 90% of you, both watching and like maybe watching when it's on YouTube, don't understand how this stuff works. A lot of you don't understand code, and that's perfectly fine. But you can't just add Vanguard to Siege. You can't just add Javelin to Siege. It doesn't work. And I know a lot of you are like, well, like, why don't they just try? Because it doesn't work. You can't do that. When people talk about this stuff and say that they should just do it, you know what you sound like? You sound like probably your guys' own bosses who are just like, get it done. And you're like, what do you mean get it done? And there's like, I don't care, just get it done. And it's like, well, fuck me. It doesn't work. And I know a lot of you are just, you know, feigning being dumb for the meme, but like this genuine, it just doesn't work. You can't do that. I'll use another example to help you guys to truly understand it. If I locked you in a room with, you guys all speak English, I'm going to lock you in a room with someone who only knows Chinese. And I'm going to say you have 1 week in that room with that person to become completely fluent in Chinese. You two can't communicate in any way, but you need to learn Chinese from this person in the room in 1 week. Not a single one of you. You're probably not even going to learn a sentence. That is how you guys sound when you say just add anti-cheat to Siege. Because it doesn't work like that. You can't just do it. It doesn't matter if you have unlimited time and unlimited money. You can't just do it. But anyways, enough of my rambling. It bothers me when people try to pretend like they know what they're talking about and have zero clue what they're actually talking about. There are some stuff, I'm not denying, they could definitely add a few things that would help with the cheating problem. But a lot of people just want to claim Vanguard, and I'm like, that doesn't work like that. Secure boot, I don't know too much about, but from what I quickly was able to look up, it is not something as simple as just turning on a switch. It would take at least a few months of development to get it to work with Siege. I don't know how, I don't know why, but from a very quick search, I was like, okay, it's not as simple as just turn it on. Because I know safe boot people claim is like the be all and the end all of why Javelin works for Battlefield 6, but Javelin also has like just a very comprehensive system that apparently just works wonders. I don't know too much about it because I haven't really looked into it because it just works. I've played Battlefield 6 since it came out and I have not faced a single cheater. So at least that one works, but again, you can't just add it into Siege. Okay, anyways, moving on. I think we're just going right back to Nighthaven Labs, but luckily that last match was very, very blatant, so we barely watched it. In this match, we have Draska, who's accusing, he said Neo, but the closest I can see is Clutcher Notek. Noetic? Do we think that's him? He does get the first kill. If this round doesn't look obvious or suspicious in any way, then I'll look at the review again. That's weird. He played that beginning like he knew exactly how to fight them, and then he just puts a breach charge on a muted wall and walks away like it's nothing. Also, am I crazy or does he have borderline non-existent recoil? I know the para is not a hard gun to control in general, but it does look like he has absolutely zero recoil. That one was hard to tell because he moved with it. I don't know. But I also don't even know if this is the person we're supposed to be looking at. All he says is Neo, so I assume it must be this guy. And he does accuse him of having no recoil. I'm gonna assume it's this guy. He didn't even look at storage, he looks straight into sight. Yeah, but I will say, like, whenever he runs across people, it does look like he's genuinely surprised to see them. So the walling, I'm not entirely sure about, but I will say the recoil just looks to be absolutely nothing. Does he use any other op? We'll watch. We'll watch this round to just make sure, but I'm sure he'll eventually use a different op. Surely on defense he doesn't go Capital. That would actually be, you know what? Random call to action for cheat developers. If you can come up with a way to do defenders on attack and attackers on defense, that'd be a very rare video I'd want to make. You know, get on that. And while we're at it, Siege anti-cheat team. Anti-cheat team. Make better anti-cheat. Those are my two calls to action. Okay. This is where... Okay, we'll see. SMG 12. If he has absolutely no recoil on this, that didn't look like much recoil. I'm not gonna lie. He didn't shoot too much. I think he only shot like 10 bullets, but 13. That's still, I don't know. I don't think he's walling, because if he was walling, he would have been ready for that vigil to push there. But I do think he has a recoil script. It's also important to note he is not a console player. I made sure to check that in that last round he hip leaned twice without aiming down sight at all. He could be using controller and PC with strike pack. Maybe. I don't know how those things work on PC. I assume they don't work. Like, I assume if you plugged in a Zim to PC, it wouldn't give you controller aim or recoil. He died again. Also, I'm assuming that the language at the bottom is Portuguese? It kind of looks like Spanish, but I don't recognize many of the words. Or maybe, is it French? It might be French. Actually, I think it is French. Because they have a lot of de and de. It is French? Okay. Because, like, that's not... In Spanish, it's escalera, not escalier. Everyone on his team is leaving, by the way. Okay, look at that. Again, I know that these guns have low recoil. There's no way that this is normal recoil control, right? Like, the gun's not moving. It literally stayed perfectly still. He was moving. That's gotta be a recoil script, right? I think it's gotta be. I don't think there's any way this is legit aim. And I can look up his rank. I bet he's probably not even that high of a rank that would make him, or make it make sense for him to have that good recoil control. It is not console. You can tell because he constantly is hip leaning. I think he has a recoil cheat for sure. He went from bronze to emerald, but he just didn't play much last season. He used to be diamond and champ, took like 2 years off, and then comes back with that level of recoil control. He's definitely recoil scripting, I think. I don't think there's any way he's controlling those guns that well. I'll watch one more round to see if he uses a different gun, and then I'll see. I think for sure he's recoil scripting. He'll have the MP5. This gun, again, low recoil, but a normal gun, even if the recoil is being controlled as perfectly as possible, it'll still vibrate a little bit. Because you will never be able to control with 100% flat recoil. The gun will always move. So that's what we gotta watch out for, is if his gun moves at all. If it stays perfectly still and has zero direction, then he's cheating. Scripting with that gun seems silly. Oh, just wait till you find out that people have scripts for every gun, even like DMRs and stuff. Again, I know all those guns are low recoil, but he even, like, the SMG-12 didn't move at all either. So I think he is very likely recoil scripting, but he's not walling. Because he's died a lot to people that he should have known where they were. And even if he was walling, he would have been able to play it off easily as, like, he just beat them in a gunfight. But he just kept dying. He does kind of look like he's looking at them through the wall, but I think he just knows since he got shot from over there. This is the first time in the entire match where I've seen any bit of recoil. And that, I think for the most part, looked like normal recoil. But I think every other round he had nothing. Because, like, if you can control the 9x19 or the SMG12, how are you struggling to control the MP5? You know? And then let's watch this in slow-mo and see if it moves more or less. That one moved less, but not a crazy amount. But he has to be using recoil scripts. There's no way the MP5, which is considered to be one of like the least recoil weapons, you struggle with, but with the SMG12, it's just flat. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe, I don't know how the cheats work, especially when it comes to scripts and stuff, but maybe he only paid for certain guns, and then he used the MP5. He's like, well, I don't have a recoil script for that. I don't know how it works. Okay, last match of the day. This one I think should be very easy to see. It is Simmer47 who's accusing Oziryui, who's apparently boosting Killer XDD. I will say from the first little bit of interactions, it does look like he's just reacting to people. But if he's boosting someone, this could be a lower rank lobby, like silver, bronze, whatever, and he could be a champ or something. We'll watch and find out. Because yeah, so far everyone seems to be dying normally, but it's only been one kill. That is a crazy play to jump out and just run out like that. Let's see what this guy's playing like to see. His reaction doesn't seem as fast as the other guy, so I'm going to go ahead early and say I think it's probably like a diamond or whatever playing in a low rank lobby. Because he did get accused of boosting, which means that the other guy's probably super low rank. So this is the guy he fights who looks completely lost when he gets shot at. He has no idea where he's being shot from. I'm gonna guess he's probably just in a low rank lobby. I really want to know how people do this. Not because I would do it, but like we play with like Ben or Kit who would be like gold or plat, and we still get only champ lobbies. And if he's only queuing with the killer guy and he's getting like bronze to silver lobbies, how the fuck do they do that? Because I ain't getting these easy ass lobbies. Knifing at the person who's apparently boosting seems weird because that makes it sound like they're not in a call together. So this is how he controls the SMG-12. Not great, but not terrible. Let's see how Dokkaebi reacts. Slow firing and slightly bad aim. Not terrible, but slightly. This would also explain, like, again, I don't think he's cheating. I think he's just being hyper aggressive because he knows the enemy team is bad. But it seems like he doesn't know where anyone is because he just walked by Lion being right outside over there and just ignored it. And he has normal recoil. Like, this is how a gun should move. It is somewhat decent. He's not too far away from it, but like, look at how much the gun at least like shakes. We didn't see that at all in the last match. Only on the MP5. So that's how an SMG-12 with good recoil control should move. Yeah, this goes on for so much longer, I didn't realize. I think after this round I'll look up his stats though. I think he's just boosting in the sense that he's a high rank playing with a low rank. Hold on. He missed every shot. No, he got scammed. He didn't hit, like, not a single bullet here actually hit him. Like, this was like priest level aim, but something should have hit there. And then Lion didn't even notice. And then he dies. I think he's just boosting. OZZIRIUU. He changed his name? Unless I just spelt it wrong. Or maybe 0. 0 ZZIRIUU. Actually, I don't think you can do that. I think it always has to be a letter first. OZZIRIUU. So he definitely changed his name. Killer. Those are ones. X triple D. Oh, he changed his name to add a ya to the end, I think. Oh, he's a console player. So yeah, okay. He is a champ / diamond console player, but on PC, he's only in gold. But how much is he earning? Still earning like 105, which means I'd probably put him at around emerald or diamond on PC. But the killer guy is in copper right now, gaining 56, which would probably put him at around mid to high bronze. So he's just playing with a really bad friend. And the average lobby MMR is gold or below, which means that obviously a champ player is just going to run amok. I don't know if you could really consider that boosting, because he is just, like, he's playing with a friend, it looks like. And he's on console, and his friend is on PC, so, like, I feel like that's just a matchmaking issue. He could be doing it intentionally, I don't know for sure, but it could also just be playing with a friend. Again, I don't know how they do that, where they actually get super easy lobbies, because, again, when I play with my friends who are lower rank, we're still in, like, champ lobbies. Somehow he's getting, like, gold and stuff, but I don't know if there's any malicious intent there. He's not cheating, but he is playing against ranks that are way, way, way below his normal rank. Hey, Fidgeson. They should really change that every rank can play together. Okay, here's my solution. I am genuinely going to talk to Ubisoft devs about this when I'm in Munich. By the time this goes up on YouTube, I'll hopefully have already talked to them. I am genuinely going to go up to the Ubisoft devs and just be like, here's my bold stance on how you get the community back. I think if they made a post and they said, we were wrong, Rank 2.0 was not good for the game. We are reverting it back to Ranked 1.0 while still keeping the rewards in the game. I think people would go crazy for that. And I think a lot of people would come back if they just straight up said, we were wrong. We shouldn't have changed Ranked. I think that would work, but I don't think the dev team is in the business of saying they're wrong. And I don't think that's necessarily just a Ubisoft thing. I think that's a game dev thing. Like, I'm sure behind the scenes, from what I've heard, behind the scenes, the numbers, Rank 2.0 is amazing. Apparently, the average amount of matches played went up an insane amount. Before, with Ranked 1.0, most people only played 10 to 15 matches. And then with Ranked 2.0, apparently, people played like over 100 matches a season. So in Ubisoft's eyes, it's a huge success. But I think across the board, most people will agree that it's just not good for the game. So I think if they admitted it and went back, people would be happy and people would come back. But I don't think they'll ever do that. I don't think Ubisoft will be willing to admit that they did something wrong. Instead, I think they would rather come out with Ranked 3.0, which would basically be more in line with Ranked 1.0, but they'll just be like, no, it's its own thing now. And then like be like, no, we're working on an evolving rank system, when in reality, they just want to probably go back. I don't know. But anyways, that is Hacker Replay for today. I'm not going to lie. The more I do Hacker Replay, I am getting angrier at the game. I've always said that I would play Siege as long as it's still fun, and I still enjoy it. And I still do enjoy it. But the more we talk about the state of the game, and the more we do hacker replays, the less fun it's becoming. I don't know if that's like compounding effect of me playing games that are fun, like Battlefield 6. Like perhaps playing games like that is what's making me realize like, hey, maybe Siege is not fun. Or if Siege is just in that bad of a state. I don't know. But that's why we're doing half of the videos a week are Battlefield 6, because we need something else. But maybe this vacation that I'm about to take will help reinvigorate me and make me want to play a little bit more Siege. We'll hope. Because I'm not going to play Siege until I come back. Well, I mean, I'll play it on the trip because we're going to do capture session and stuff, but that doesn't count. And yeah, the trend is people leaving, game dying, but we'll see. We'll see what Season 4 has in store for us. Like maybe they'll actually do something. I don't think they will. I think Season 4 is going to be a nothing burger. It'll have like a few things people will like, but not enough to bring people back. And then I think we're just going to be in a really shitty state until year 11, which might bring a few people back. We'll see. In the meantime, we'll just enjoy Battlefield, and I'll keep making Battlefield content. Hopefully, everyone keeps watching it.